My question is, what does Kryon say is the most powerful thing you can do to change your life, others, and the environment around us?
You're not going to believe the answer, because it's so simple. And he's only started using this since 2012. He says the metaphor is stop the car, sit down and be loved. You got to clear the boards of everything you believe and think, and everything that anybody has told you that you must do or must not do, including me. And Kryon says, you got to sit and be loved. And the result of that, stopping the car, may actually mean you got to clear the boards of your life. You've got to find a few hours or something where you won't do anything. And you go out and just sit out and open your hands. And when you do that, Kryon says, that's when you start getting information that'll answer every question you have. Because that's the new energy. Now, that is not what we've been told in the past. We were told, well, there's got to be something more. And there isn't. At this point in time, we are oblivious to new kinds of energy that is sitting there hovering over us, ready to help us if we simply stop for a while. And that's when the intuition kicks in. You know, when Marilyn teaches how to channel, she hasn't said it. You know what the secret is? You know what channeling really is? It's a stream of intuition. So this is she's teaching you to combine the pineal, the brain, the heart together, listen to intuition in a different way. So it's all about the connection you have to God inside. That happens when you stop and listen. That's when the intuition starts to give you the answers that you were fighting to have as someone who is overthinking it or over-intellectualizing it. That's fairly new. It really has to do with new paradigms for all of us. And so that's the best answer I can give you on that one.
My question is, you said when people pass, part of them stay here with family and the rest go beyond. And we're learning here and trying to get better. How about over there? Are they learning also? That's my question.
No. You're when you say over there, we are talking about that which we will call God. All right. They are learning in other places, maybe even dimensionally, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the creative source, which we understand to be Spirit and God. The information, is there a specific channel that you can remember or not that would, because he's done a number of them about soul splitting? Okay. They're all over, and you look for something maybe entitled soul splitting if it's there. Kryon wants to tell us that the paradigm we have always had is one that's so understandable because we're linear. We have one body, and we look in the mirror, and there's one face and one name, and that's how we go through life, and we're specifically us. We're nobody else. But souls are not. Souls are not linear. They're not earthly creatures. They're not corporeal. They're multidimensional. And in a multidimensional way, the paradigm is completely different of existence. When we pray to God, if you have a billion people all giving their prayer together, you don't ever think about how can God listen. That's just not even on your mind. It's assumed. God can hear them all at once. That's the example of a multidimensional attribute. So now you have a soul that's you, but it doesn't have your name on it. That's the name you had as a human. It's got another name on it. That's the original name that you had that encompasses a lot more than you ever thought. It's your higher self. It's your personality, your consciousness, where you're here, and it contains all the information of who you were and all of that. The Akash is not carried in your soul; it's carried in the cave of creation. What's carried in the soul is so much greater, Kryon says. And the purpose of what I'm going to tell you, he says, part of it splits when you pass. And that multidimensional thing that can listen to a billion people at the same time, part of it goes to those who are left. And whether it's your kids, or whether it's your friends, or whether it's your significant other, so that when you pass, they will feel you and know that you're still here in some way. Now, we are talked out of that in such a significant way that people will grieve all their lives not understanding that we're there. Kryon has given this wonderful example of those who loved and lost are standing right next to you while you're grieving and on your knees, and they're trying to get a hold of you. And they're saying, look, I'm here, I'll put my arm around you if you'll just believe it. And that's profound, isn't it? And then there's more. You reincarnate. Okay, how do you stay with your kids when you reincarnate? And the answer is yes. It's a multidimensional puzzle we can't figure out because we don't understand those non-linear things. A soul is a soul. It's your soul. It's your forever. It goes here. It goes there. It gets punished over here. Whatever. None of that is accurate. We have to start thinking bigger about those kinds of things. And the bigger we think, and the more Kryon talks about it, the grander it is. I mean, it's when I first heard that, I said, this makes total sense. And isn't it a beautiful system to have your soul stick around and help the ones who are grieving the fact that you died?